Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
Worth it, right? A very pleasant good evening and welcome to Martensville. It's the Grand Slam of Curling, Canadian Open Tier 2, here on Curling Stadium. We have this matchup between Christina Black of Halifax and Kate Cameron from Manitoba. Happy to have you here, curling fans. I'm Dave Schmel. I'm joined by Sean Joyce, and Matt Hone is on our production. Sean, good evening. How you doing today, buddy?
Well, I'm already shaking my head as you start out with a very pleasant good evening, because we're in the midst of a blizzard here in Saskatchewan and Martensville, where
I know it's a blizzard, but it's warm. It's warm inside the club.
Yeah, and most people are stuck inside of wherever they are. There's a lot of businesses in the city happen to close early today, so hoping that we can get dug out from under in order to be back to business tomorrow as usual. Fortunate, we were talking about it in our group chat amongst the commentators earlier on this afternoon when we started to hear about some issues with the highways and things like that. Of course, the highway between Saskatoon and Martensville, and it's a very short trip from one to the other, but it's an incredibly busy highway. And there were rumors that visibility was next to nothing and that they might be closing the highway. And I don't know how many of these teams might be staying in Saskatoon and driving out to Martensville. So I think there was a few worried moments there, but I think we're through the worst of it. And now all we have to do is watch a lot of curling. There's been some great shots made so far this weekend already. I shouldn't call it weekend. We're still midweek, but a lot yet to go.
And we are thrilled to have the coverage of this Tier 2 event here with you on Curling Stadium. We'll have it all weekend long, all the way up through Saturday. You'll have all the coverage of all the games right here with us, so stay locked in. And now, for those of our regular viewers who might not watch the slams too often, a couple different rules in the slams, right, Sean?
A couple of different rules in the slams, and they're not necessarily the same as they were in the last slam either, but one of them is you can only blank one end per team, per game. If you blank the second one, you lose the hammer. We are playing with time clocks here, even in the Tier 2, so you can see that in the window behind. And no blank ends during the round-robin portion. Now, last slam, they had
no extra ends
in the round-robin portion. Last slam, they played that all the way through to the championship final, and then, in fact, it was determined on a draw to the button. Here, they are playing extra ends in the playoffs, but for the round-robin portion, so through to the end of Friday night, it's simply draw to the button if you end up tied after the regulation 8 ends. And, we'll see if we get into a game that's tight near the end, if that factors into maybe how teams call that 8th end. It's if you go into that 8th end and you feel like you're in a position, hey, we're going to have the hammer and an extra end, you're not going to take too many chances because you feel pretty good about your chances to win that. Well, if it's a coin flip, if you got to go to a draw to the button, maybe you play that 8th end different. And I'm not sure that's necessarily a bad thing. The argument that people would make is that, well, if you've played that whole 8th end or the whole game and you've played that 8th end to put yourself in a position to have hammer in the extra end, you've earned that hammer and you should have the chance to score your deuce. The counter argument to that, and what I would maybe argue myself, is if you're still tied after 8 ends, you haven't earned anything. You're tied. The other team has done just as much as you. So I kind of like this. Force them to, if you want to win the game in 8, then you have to play to win the game in 8. There's none of this play to tie it in 8 and have the hammer in the extra end.
So here we see the stone coming down from Taylor McDonald.
Not quite going to get by.
Yeah, going to clip the guard and spill it into the rings.
The stagger on the reds means that it's still hard for her to get at that yellow stone at the back of the forefoot, though. So she's going to play something to move those around herself right now. Black has last rock here. Just got to be a little careful, I guess, in the first end with no guards already in this end. Just have to be a little bit careful about blasting things because you could see Kate Cameron force the blank because of that fact that it's the only one you get, right? One roster note as well. This is Marley Powers throwing the second stones. For those who were watching the Olympic trials, Black's team runs with a 5-player rotation, and they at that point in time, they were rotating every game. Marley Powers is throwing the second stones right now. Carly Everest is the lead. Jill Brothers, the third. Christina Black, the skip, in the house. That was a nice tap. She's lined up those 2 reds to go directly onto the yellow stone.
And how's the ice surface been running so far?
I didn't get a chance to look at it yesterday. I've been watching today. Plenty of movement and lots of late movement as well. So you can come around guards without getting that tight to them. And it's really easy to swing out the other side. You've got enough movement that you can play those tap backs, the hack waiters around guards, move things through. It's the kind of ice these people love to play on. Now, I will say that some of the teams that were in Swift Current last week may find that it takes them a bit to adjust because it wasn't curling quite as hard last week. So you find when you play on something that's a little bit straighter, and it certainly was finishing Swift Current, but it didn't have as much movement overall, you can get some, I don't even want to call them bad habits. You can get some habits into your delivery. Just you throw it for the ice conditions, and then you get into, some of these teams started Tuesday night. You get back on the ice Tuesday night, and it's running that much different from what you saw only 48 hours earlier. It can take you a game to get back to having that positive release again. I know that I've got the roster or the standings up here. Christina Black lost her opening game. Kate Cameron won hers. They play 4 games through the round robin portion to qualify for those playoffs. Black certainly doesn't want to lose the second game early.
That would put them behind the 8 ball early for sure.
Well, 2-2, you're probably looking at if you can stay 2-2, the tiebreaker scenarios. You need to get in off your cumulative last stone draw score, and that's always iffy. Pointed out the roster for Christina Black. It looks like the Cameron roster is exactly what we have on our screen. Mackenzie Elias throwing the lead stone. Taylor McDonald.
Need this one to hang on. No, it's going to reckon the guard and basically freezes even better to theirs.
Well, I don't see a blank coming.
Once again, excellent. Detailed analysis by Sean Joyce.
Looking at the double, you could almost make the triple here.
Probably could. Now
well, you'll spin up a little bit, yeah. And doesn't need to get the third one out, but if she moves it, what would you say, 8 inches? Then she brings that one at the top of the 8 that's still partly into the 12-foot. It comes back into play as well.
So here's Jill Brothers.
After this.
Absolutely. So here's Jill Brothers with her first. We're on first rocks right now.
Wants to stay thin enough to stick the first one. This might be a little thick. Nope, it's good.
Well, that's pretty darn good, Sean.
Touched them both. Didn't move the third one quite far enough, but she's sitting 3 right now.
You can probably get that double to go through the hole.
Yeah, you'll have to take it off the yellow, I think.
Talking about the ice install while we were at Swift Current for last week's event, the Dominion Securities Fall Showdown. It was, we were getting pictures from James Gordon as he was flooding the ice and getting it ready for this event. This one's kind of thin. There you go. You get it. It's going to go out the back.
Yeah, it gets the double, but loses the shooter.
Now an opportunity for Black to lie 2 with a good split.
Yeah, and tough for Cameron to do much about either one of them. Like she's got the double on the reds right now. She needed to play it. The problem is the top red is coming over towards two other yellows, and it's probably as easy to end up jamming it on something as it would be to get it clean through there.
And if you go and jam it after this shot, then they're going to draw to lie 3.
Yeah.
So now let's see this finish in this ice. Coming across the center line. And now looking to get all the way beyond to the edge of the 8.
Yeah, it doesn't
That's
quite have
pretty
the weight.
open. Yeah.
It's funny. She's just looking at hitting the one that was just played, but the angle is about right for the triple.
I was just going to say that, Sean.
It's
You
over
see
to the
that?
top. You hit the first one over the top of the second one, and your shooters play the double, play the crosshouse double, and you're awful close to getting all 3 of them.
Yeah. You see that 90-degree angle between the stones.
And Kate Cameron doesn't have any problem throwing it hard enough to get rid of all 3 of them either.
Oh, for sure. And she hasn't even looked there, Sean.
Well, she did glance at it, but I think what she's, I'm guessing a little bit, but I think what she's looking at is there's a bit of air there. If she gets any piece of her rock underneath cover at all, she must be thinking she could be shot rock. I'm not positive. If she rolls over behind the yellow at all, she might not be shot rock, and that doesn't change the shot for Christina Black.
So here's Kate Cameron. Need this one to cross over just a touch. Let it go too far. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not shot rock.
not at all.
It does mean Christina has to go a little wider to get around that yellow, but it's also now staggered with the one at the top, so she gets half around. It's hard to do much with this. Maybe it slides behind the tee line. You're able to freeze your way out of it.
So Black going over the shot with her team.
Yeah. Been a few rocks down here. They'll have an idea of the weight.
This one looks like it has to simmer. Looks a little hot. Now it digs in.
I was just thinking, we don't have mics directly on the players, but there's a mic out there, maybe a couple of mics on cameras, I'm not sure. So we can hear a little bit of the noise out there. I heard somebody call 7, but then I'm not sure it was on our sheet. There will be 2 women's games out there, so 2 women's games, 2 men's games, I think has been the draw all the way through, so. The nice thing about that, I guess, if you want to call it that, as a skip, this is what I like. So you've got 1 game from each pool, 2 men's, 2 women's games. It makes it, as a skip, I'm going to pick on the front end, sorry. It's real hard for the lead, the second, to be scoreboard watching because there aren't a lot of games out there that matter. Just focus on your own game, which you should do anyway, but I got news for you. Sometimes I get a lot of updates on what just happened on the other sheet, and I'm wondering how they know. Okay, Cameron's going to look for the corner freeze here.
Brock, that has to be thrown well, or else you're going to be in a lot of trouble early.
Yeah,
you heard
'cause
back 8 there.
There's the potential for the like if you leave it short, there's the the yellow onto the one you're about to throw. There's a double that way.
So it's good for second shot.
Yeah.
But is there a double? Can they hit in the crotch for a 3 there?
Well, maybe. Do you want to take the risk? That's the question.
I think they're taking it on.
Yeah, I would say so, because that does not look like enough ice to draw to the other side of the 4-foot.
So Christina Black. Looking to put a big number up early. Final stone of the opener.
Less weight than I thought she was throwing. This is the draw.
So needs a piece of the 4-foot for 2.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was ever
That's
nearly
not
enough.
going to get it. It wasn't nearly enough weight either, so it'll be a single point for Black. Cameron has the hammer when we come back from Martensville after this.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
And welcome back to Martensville. It's the Grand Slam of Curling Canadian Open Tier 2. Second end of this game, Cameron has the hammer. Black took a single in the first. I'm Dave Schmel, joined by Sean Joyce. And Sean, it's our first look with Cameron here with the hammer.
It is. But I was just noticing again as we came back from the break, and I mentioned it to you before we started the game. I had a game earlier today. I had 2 teams with primarily red jerseys and black trim, and now we got 2 teams with primarily black jerseys with blue trim. And they're going to have to start doing home and away jerseys if we're going to do this, because it does get hard to tell. Like right now, who's supposed to be sweeping this rock?
And just another thing there, so if you look at the back of the jerseys, Team Cameron is throwing Yellowstones, but on the back of their jersey, they have an advertisement that's in red. And Team Black is throwing Redstones, and they have an advertisement on the back of their jersey in yellow.
Well, they got a red one on the front of their jersey, so they're covered either way. That come around to the back of the 4-foot will actually help Christina Black.
So you got you got the big yellow ad, but they're throwing the Redstones. Yeah, it is all the way down. And will they lock right up there? That's not bad.
Yeah, they probably didn't necessarily want to lock right up there. They would have liked to have been dead in behind. They've left a little bit of room. Certainly with the amount of curl there is here in Swift Current, you can get across the face, even playing this turn, get slightly across the face and angle it to be able to pass that yellow at the back. Don't need to move it right now. You want to always, when you're freezing on rock like this, when there's one of your own behind it, you'd like to get it on an angle where when you do hit it later on, you could clear the back stone. This looks like it's got nicer line. Still sweeping the curl. It might be strong.
It does look a little bit heavy, so they're going to make contact and move it around a little bit. Click it back to the back 8.
Yeah, that was a lot heavy. I don't think they were planning to move it there. They certainly didn't need to.
Certainly provides an opportunity for Cameron to kind of flip it back to her a little bit. So Taylor McDonald.
Well, this is Marley Powers. This is the black team. See what I mean?
Oh my goodness!
Everybody wearing the same color.
Son of a motherless goat, Sean.
There's no sons out there. It's daughters. Nothing but daughters.
I was calling you a son of a motherless goat.
It wouldn't be the worst thing I've ever been called.
Fair enough.
Not even today.
You know what? It's Connor's fault.
That's been the running theory all day. Yeah, that the setup in the house not great right now for Kate Cameron, so she's going to look at the peel on the center garden. If they could happen to clip the red at the side of the 8-foot on the way by, they'd take it. I don't think she wants to roll out. I think she's trying to keep this for a corner. Yeah, but they're not going to.
Does roll all the way out. So shot stone belongs to black on the back of the button. Cameron in a very threatening position up front. So Marley Powers still throwing second stones for Team Black. This one just looking to pick it off, and they do and spin up a little bit. Probably left a double back.
Yeah, left a double back, but you could be looking at a blank here, and that's you only get the one.
Say to choose whether you want to take it or not.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where if you knew you only get one. Ideally, you think, okay, well, we're 2 up late in the end. Or late in the game, we blank then. If you have to blank while you're trailing in the second end, boy, you're up against it for the rest of the game. You're easily forced after that.
And they're just going to kind of roll up on top of it.
That might drag enough that if you hit that right on the nose, you could double the 2 yellows.
They could also do what seemed to, looking at both options, either drag it or clip it and roll open.
Yeah. Hard to pick it clean, but I mean, if you throw quiet weight, which is what they seem to have indicated, and hit about 3/4, as you touch the second red, it's just going to go back towards the freeze. It's not going to go very far.
So, brothers.
Well, that's more weight than I thought they were throwing. And that's what Jill says. She's pointing skyward.
Moves them both, like you said, came right over to the jam.
I was going to say, I think I'd be freezing here, but she's going to play the hit and roll across.
Well, you figure if you throw one freeze and freeze, and maybe somebody might end up scoring one. But
well, you keep hitting, somebody's going to end up scoring nothing. So
yep,
it is the even end. I mean, this shouldn't be a stretch for a lot of these teams that they're willing to score in the even end, even if it means getting held to a single. You like to keep that hammer in the even ends
and retain the ability to blank.
Yeah, you make a decent freeze. You still got a shot of getting 2 here. You make the hit and roll, you're looking for misses.
Well, we got it just to hit there. So now, opportunity for black to put themselves in a good position. Would almost force Cameron to blank now.
Well, it's not on this shot. I think if you make the perfect hit and roll, Cameron has to try to hit it on the nose again and stay in front of it, and then Black will just blast it because she can give you the blank.
So pick it up right out of brother's hands.
Doesn't want to roll past it.
It's rolling way past it. They are dead even.
Yeah, if anything, the one she just rolled is a hair deeper, and it's hard to make the double off the other one. I mean, you could make it. You're going to lose your own. So what Kate's thinking, you nose it, they hit it again, and then you should have angle for the double.
Harris with her second. This has to curl. This really has to curl.
You know, if you come across move the yellow's not bad. Well, you didn't want to kill it. Just wanted to move it. Still, there's a way to get that red out now anyway. Wow, that's brave. Black looking at throwing something to the top. The 8-foot, you're giving her a chance to make the double for 2. So she's going to hit that. Trying to just the short little slash red on the yellow. The trick is going to be to make this and hold the shooter. She'd like to hold both red ones in the rings.
This one's hanging on the outside.
Yeah, the shooter's going to go away.
So does Cameron try to freeze here?
Well, that's what I'm wondering too. That's what she's looking at. Also talking about hitting and rolling in front of that stone that's just out of the rings.
It's pretty far out of the rings, though.
Yeah, hard to tell if you were to actually jam on it. Well, if it rolled a little bit towards the center line, I think it would be in. I don't know if you dead stuffed on it, if it would be.
It would be really close.
You know what? If there's the threat of it, at least you want to put it in Christina Black's mind before she throws the last one. It might influence her throw.
So Cameron.
Did not look to me like
this one is over curling. It's hard to even get a piece. Will they even get a piece? No, it is a flash.
Yeah, that did not look like she got out to the broom. Again, we're not right in behind, but she definitely came over the top, and I'm not sure she was out to the broom at all. So now for Black, a chance to come in full 8-foot probably. You could even just bite the 4-foot, although I think you bite the 4-foot. Kate Cameron tries the double. She is typically, last rock notwithstanding, a very good hitter. You put it, full 8-foot, probably right on the Y-O and U. And then at least you put it in her mind. Okay, are you going to play the draw, or do you want to play the straight back double with a fair amount of space between them? Line looks pretty good. You don't want to slide in so deep that you can just hit it on the nose.
So right there at the top of the button, pretty much dead lined up vertically.
Yeah, she's got to hit it off the nose to make the double, but I can't see her trying to outdraw those two. I mean, you could do it. She's certainly a good enough drawer, too. The issue is when they're both in the forefoot like that, if you're trying to draw, the odds are you're either getting one or you're giving up two. Whereas you play the hit, the worst it should ever be is one. She can make the double for one. I don't think she can make the double and roll out. I think the discussion there is which side does she want to hit this on? Because she does have to make the double, so you got to hit it slightly off the nose one way or the other.
So Kate Cameron facing two. Final stone of the second.
It does not look like she got up to the broom again.
This one's going to be pretty close. No, she nuts it, and it's going to be a steal one for Black. Cameron will have the hammer in 3 when we come back to Martensville on Curling Stadium.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Welcome back to Martensville. It's the Grand Slam of Curling Canadian Open Tier 2. It was Black with a steal of 1 in the second. Cameron now trails by 2 in end number 3. Just a little bit off on that last hit there, Sean.
Yeah, both of those hits outturns on both of them, a little more weight on the second one, but and again, I'd love to have a camera right in behind to see how she threw it, but it certainly didn't look to me like she got all the way out to the broom on those two throws. And I mean, I feel like I'm in a better position to have an idea with that. As a tuck delivery myself, you got an idea where she should be as she crosses the hollow green. She certainly comes over the top on her outturn. A lot of the tuckers do, because it's hard to keep your wrist cocked back to the 2 o'clock position when your arm angle's that low. But she's quite a bit over the top and then maybe not getting all the way out to it. That's just a recipe to have that outturn curl.
So Team Black looking to pick this one out. Roll the shooter over to the side. They do just that. So Elias trying to get this to curl a little bit. It's going to hit basically dead nose and stay right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure I hate the nose hit. It's probably better actually than rolling behind. I'm almost surprised if she wanted to get behind that she just didn't draw.
So both teams in this game get their thinking time and 2 timeouts. Trying to get this one under cover. They're going to just come up short of that. Opportunity for Cameron to try to duck under.
I'm sorry, maybe it's just me, but Marley Powers, does that not sound like that should be her Avengers name? She needs an alter ego.
I mean, she could be, Mrs. Austin Danger Powers.
Well, that's
Yeah, baby.
not the same genre.
No, definitely not the same genre. And there's a bit of an age canyon there, I would say.
Well, she needs to use all of her draw powers on this shot.
This one's hanging.
It'll go from the hog line in. I think she'll get a piece behind. Hard to say if she can get it buried. She's dead buried. She's probably deep.
It is a little bit deeper than they like and basically right on the lid. Very gettable. You see Cameron indicating back line weight. McDonald. Have to work hard to get this one by.
Well, I think they went plan B if they thought,
Yep.
because they were sweeping the curl at the end and they didn't want to just rub it. If we're going to hit it, let's hit it hard and roll in.
That's a good audible.
Yeah, because it got the guard just off the center line and kept the rock in the rings for them. Sometimes that's the trick, it's if you can still get something out of your misses, as opposed to, those dreaded 0 out of 4 on the score sheet.
This one over curling. Looks like they're going to lose the shooter.
Quiet enough, it might stick around somewhere.
Oh, and it just does. Dead even, too. They need this one to curl buckets.
Yeah, just to stay. She's not getting the cross they were looking for.
Now it's quiet enough, it will stay. And just be shot. But the force is looking more and more likely.
Yeah, with that rock on the edge of the 12-foot, I think the force was always there. There's starting to be some shrapnel pile up at the back now, too, though. you know that, and we've seen it already, you get a rock around that center guard, Christina Black would be able to chase it, but the more red rocks there are hanging around back there, the harder it is to get it out. So I think here comes your come around. And if you're dead in behind, to chase from either turn, I mean, there's room to get it out, but there's also room to jam it, regardless of which turn you might play.
Working this one for the weight.
And the line.
Going to get into the 8 foot, and they are full 8.
But half out in the open on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
There's the up-to-date view. So got in far enough to be second shot. Christina Black's looking at the draw. She's got to be a little careful. You know, you've still got to get by that yellow at the top of the 8. Not impossible the way this ice curls to get dead buried on that. But if you leave it half open on that one, you could leave a double on this one you're about to throw and the shot stone back 8. Now that rock at the top of the 8 foot could end up as the second point.
So Christina Black taking a bold move here in the third.
I'm not sure she's got a ton of choice. She could see half of it, but you know, again, the 2 jam possibilities, the back I talked about, it's definitely there if you're playing it from the out turn to jam it onto shot stone. I'll be honest, I'm surprised you don't see that more often from some of these skips that are wearing extra layers just to stay warm when they're holding the broom. I'm surprised you don't see them take that off to throw, just because of the bulk.
We saw a lot of that last week at Swift Current.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who it was. She was throwing and still throwing her rocks in a full puffer jacket.
This one is light. Can they drag it far enough? Is that good enough, Sean?
Yeah, you know, it's probably better there than, you know, if they drag it another foot and a half, she leaves the double. You could make a play on that stone. It's going to be tough to get shot rock. Now, she might be able to pass it through the back and just roll over in front of the shot stone, just what they're tapping now. She might roll in enough to be shot, and then it's a problem for Christina Black because she's going to have to make a play on it. She has to get it by her own stone at the back of the 8 foot. Just looking for a little broom side roll. So she rolls right to where the broom is. That's pretty good because Christina Black can't roll back to the middle then, or she'd jam it. And if she noses it, she's going to leave the double. The only question was okay, so you hit and roll over, nose. Yeah, I'm not sure if the double after that would be in far enough to be second shot.
Trying to walk this one over just a little bit. They get the hit. They get the broom side roll. They stuff on the back, but that's in a great spot. Don't think it's shot, but it's a good second.
Yeah, well, it's hard to remove and dangerous to try.
Yeah, it would have Smuckers written all over it.
Also dangerous to just play the straight come around. This is one of those situations where you could make the argument red's sitting shot and they're in some trouble.
So they're going to play the come around.
Yeah.
Better make it, Sean.
Yeah. There's not a lot of good misses here. I mean, I guess the same spot would be okay.
They're taking a good look at it. It is close, but I think it's red.
Well, I thought it was originally too, but they're looking awfully long and hard at it. But again, does it matter? Like, does it change the call if you think yellow shot? What could you do with it? There's too many chances to jam it on anything. If you were sure the red was shot rock, you could actually bring this in deep enough to get them dead even and not leave a double. It's a long ways out there.
Now puts the blinker on and starts to come on over. I think they did pretty well with that.
Well, if the guard wasn't there, there's a double for sure.
But alas, the guard is there.
Well, and I mean, it'll finish. You could get you could still hit it where you need to hit it to get the double. I just don't know that you could hit it. Like if they're not second shot, take one more look as this is coming in. They were trying to bring it as far back as they could to get it even, and you could still see sweeping for curl as well because they knew it wasn't as far under as they might like it. You could probably throw this with like hack to bumper, hit the rock that was just thrown, come across, and you only have to touch that second red to be sure you've got two. I don't think you could hit it hard enough because you need the finish. I don't think you could hit it hard enough to get more than two. And it's a little risky to even to try to come across anyway because you gotta be really tight to your own rock. Now, if you think you've got second shot, oh, she's looking at around the horn. That's tough.
Well, she's just looking to push it back.
Straight draw. This has got to be straight draw with this ice.
Yep.
So she must think the red is second shot.
Yeah, she looked at it and then she tried to look at the angle to see if she could possibly make a play on it, but you can never get there with enough weight.
You could get there with enough weight to just move it through if you didn't need to go
to move it through. Sure.
Yeah. She only needs to move it through the 4 foot if she thinks she's got second shot. But this looks like straight draw ice to me. You know, that's 4.5 feet right there just to the edge of the red stone. That looks like straight draw ice to me.
Mm-hmm. So Kate Cameron facing as many as two. Final stone of the third. They are working this one hard.
Yeah, they're going to have to for line and weight.
This looks short, Sean. It is quite short. So it's one for sure.
We might get the measurement.
Yep, they are going to get the stick, I believe. So you can put your guesses in. We're playing for 243 curling stadium bonus points.
The cutaway on the Flynn logo gives you a bit of an optical illusion, so I think it's probably closer than it sort of looks, but I still think it's red.
So here in Martensville, they use the finer micrometer.
And it's yellow.
It's yellow. How about that? So it's a steal of 1 for black. Cameron has a hammer in 4 when we come back to Martensville after this on Curling Stadium.
Hey, Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Still, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree, come use us for real estate.
And welcome back to Martensville, the Grand Slam of Curling Canadian Open Tier 2. Another stolen point for Christina Black. Kate Cameron needs to get something going here in the 4th.
And they seem to be in agreement. That stone is in the rings. And so shortly it's going to be in the corner.
It's in the corner. Are they going to slide underneath their own? They get edge on edge. Corner guard's going to come back. Or get there for the first time.
Yeah.
This one is going to settle in for a guard.
Black looking to play a guard here. I'm almost surprised by that 3 points up. I thought she'd come in again.
Well, the inset is frozen there, so.
Well, she did seem to be indicating just to play the guard on the stone in the rings.
And that is indeed what she's doing. Over curls a skosh.
That's more than a skosh.
Yeah, that's a bit.
Left her enough to play the hit and roll behind the corner. Has to hold the shooter here, though.
I left that a little bit too long.
Yeah, well, and I'm not sure. I didn't hear the weight call. I saw the point as soon as she let go. Mackenzie Elias pointing up, saying this might be a little heavy. That was not a lot of weight when you're especially when you're trying to make a 4-foot roll.
It's now black with the roll underneath the Cameron rock.
Yeah, I'm not sure she wanted that, though. That's going to open up the chance for Cameron to go around the staggered centers.
Taylor McDonald trying to draw right there, top 4. Looks like the weight's right there, and now it just really took that turn. Sails down just behind the tee line.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where you're definitely afraid that's not going to work out for you. It's one of those ones for sure where you can't tell your teammate it was a good shot until after you see what the opposition does.
So the first from Jill Brothers.
Line looks really good.
Just a little bit heavy. It's going to chap off.
She's a little stronger still.
So now a little bit of a chance for Team Cameron.
Yeah. Yeah, you could get just ever so slightly across the face, drive this by your own. Not that you're driving it out all the way, but just get it all the way out of the 4-foot at least, and then flop in behind. Even if you were to just dead freeze, this one's not the worst thing in the world. You got to get to the angle where you can get the red out, though.
Needs to come up to avoid the jam.
Yeah, just too much worry about making sure you moved it out of your hand. You had to make sure you got to the line out of your hand, and then you worry about whether you could move it or not. You could have frozen to that, would have been fine.
So Brother's going to make a play on Shot Rock. Try and get this one to walk over a little bit more. It's only going to be dead nose right now. That's where it stays. So you see bumper weight.
Yeah, this double is so paper thin. I didn't mind her first call. Just hit and roll in front of it. Get something in front of it on an angle where you can get rid of the red later. This is so super thin. And if you make it, you're still behind the tee line.
Yeah, I like the hit and roll shot as well.
Well, this is a lot of risk for not a lot of reward because you're going to be so far back. And if you hit it and roll all the way across, that stopped in time. That's a good spot.
The pin is still available to freeze too.
Yeah. if you put this somewhere where they can play the squeeze, the yellow isn't likely going to go very far. And for Cameron, you're down 3 as you play here in the 4th. You're going to probably have to leave some stuff behind once in a while, and you're just hoping for a bit of a break. So that's where she's at right now. You get a freeze that's not exactly perfect, and she might be able to squeeze it, leave the yellow there, get one red out, and at least pop the other one out into the open. If she can do that, there's potential for a big end. So Christina Black really needs to lock this on pretty close to dead nose so that there's not a lot to do with it.
This one looking pretty close if they can get it there. Oh, that is beautiful. See this one coming down.
Yeah, they could have stood to switch a little bit sooner. They did leave some angle on the ones in the house. Now, I'm not entirely sure. They weren't in a position to really start switching around because they wanted to make sure they were all the way down to the face. I'm not sure they were entirely sure they were there. Yeah, Kate's looking at playing the double run. I don't think she can get to it with enough weight to jiggle things, to play at it directly. I mean, if you could get to the nose directly with just, back 4, back 8 foot weight, you jiggle it so that it clears the yellow, you're okay. But just based on the shots that we've seen coming in there so far in this game, it doesn't look like this particular intern finishes hard
outturn side.
I don't think so. Like, it's so overburied on the outturn side. So she's playing the double run. The first guard slightly across the face of the second, have it come straight back. Now, if she could have it come dead straight back, she could pick the red, and the way it drags, she could just kill both reds and leave both yellows sitting there.
So Cameron for the double run. Red to red to red. Oh my goodness, what a great shot by Kate Cameron.
She lined it up. She threw it. She's had a few issues with the outturn hits, but her intern, she seems to have been throwing a little bit better. And this one was so precise. She's got to get it just across the face, enough to go straight back. Still didn't lose the third rock, but pushes it to the back 12. The yellow stayed pretty much exactly where it was. Now it's half open through the port. It's not a gigantic port.
Yeah, I mean, how good was that?
And it might have worked out for her that back one didn't leave either, because it's going to be hard to make this double without the top stone, and that's assuming she makes the port. If she makes the port, runs the one yellow onto the other yellow, it's coming back towards that red. It could end up sticking back there, and there could still be a shot for 2. And she's still got to make the port before you even get to worry about that.
The final from Black. Trying to get it to curl over. Just past the guard. They get the one. Do they get the double? No, it sticks right there. And Cameron will have a shot for the deuce on the outturn draw. What a change of events to get Cameron right back in this game, Sean, potentially.
Yeah. And I think there was a few moments of panic there when she let it go. They swept for curl. They were worried they were on the outside guard. She hit it very thin, just thin enough to dead jam it. I don't think you could ever make the port and not kill at least one of them. But the double was always going to be tough. She had to hit that quite a bit thicker to even get it rolling, and then it was rolling towards that back one. I mean, her shooter rolled out of the rings easy.
Final stone of the fourth end. Cameron has one in her pocket. This one looks hot. Now it starts to sit. And put that 2 on the board. It's 3-2 in favor of Black. She'll have the hammer when we come back for the fifth end. You're watching the Grand Slam on Curling Stadium.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome back. Fourth end, we're in the break. It's 3-2 in favor of Black. Black will have the hammer after the break. And let's take a look at the other scores, Sean.
Well, we know there's only one women's game left on now because the other women's game just across the rink, Madeline DuPont started out with 4 and then stole each of the next 3 ends. She takes an 8-0 victory over Kayla McMillan. They've wrapped up after 4 ends. And then 2 games on the men's side right next door. And you can see a little bit of the action going on there. Jordan McDonald's team with a 4-2 lead over Mark Keene as they play in the fourth there. It is McDonald with last rock. And Reed Carruthers, Dustin Kaltoff tied at 4 apiece as they play in the fifth. Carruthers with last rock there.
And that brings us back here. It was a big deuce there for Cameron in the fourth, set up by that big double run.
Interesting to see now in the fifth end just how aggressive they want to be. They're still down by a point without. They get the tight guard here. They got a piece of the center line. And what I want to see is, are they throwing double centers here?
Neither team has blanked yet, and both teams have both of their timeouts as we go into the second half. So Carly Everest only get just a little piece of it under, and Cameron's going to come right around.
That answers the question. They're not throwing the second guard yet. Really curling. It's not just the guard. I'm not sure by the red one in the house.
They just graze the red.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Ends up pretty much dead buried.
Yeah, not bad. Trying to make the freeze down to it. Come down, lock on, tap it just a touch. Is that a touch too far?
No, I don't think so. You left a good angle red onto the yellow. There's some space between them, but you've got a way to get that yellow out. This is the fifth stone of the end too, and with black having the lead here as we play in the fifth, I expect she's going to start peeling guards after this. So for now, for black, as long as she's got angles in the house to get rid of that shot stone, she's okay. And that's what there's a chance here to take both angles away. If you could ever get just across the face of that red stone,
it's going to be close to it.
Yeah.
It's going to be close, Sean. And just across the face, they do.
I think she took them both away because she's underneath the one in the 12-foot, and she took the angle away on the other one. That's an incredible shot.
Wow, truly an incredible draw indeed.
Like you peel the guard out here, straight peel it, and that's not what they're playing. But if they straight peel the guard out here, they still don't have a way to get at shot rock. Take a look at this coming in, and there's not a lot of room between those rocks. She's got to get just to the inside of the one at the top of the 8, enough to move it back and then have her shooter at that little kick at the end. She hooks herself underneath, so there's no straight back either. All they made was the straight guard, or the straight peel on the guard. So now Cameron can just keep throwing some guards, knowing that, even if one of these guards isn't necessarily made perfect, it still takes Christina Black 2 rocks to get at shot stone. She doesn't have a way to get there on one shot. This is where you could start thinking about this potentially being a steal scenario.
Still a good amount of distance to go in the end, but I certainly agree. Advantage Cameron at the moment. Good guard.
Yeah, Christina Black needs to make a few rocks move here.
So Powers just going to peel the one off the top. Lather, rinse, and repeat.
I haven't touched
this one yet. Plenty of pace, yeah.
They want it to curl and stop.
Yeah, just a little bit tighter. So now what do those angles look like? Yeah, you might have got away with it.
Hard to not make contact with something in the rings here, though, on
Sure.
this one. Like, she's got to move a couple of rocks.
So you take that one the way they're talking about. What else is going to go?
Yeah, well, the direction they're hitting it now, they'll probably lose the yellow in the 8-foot and their own red behind it, but I'm not sure these are the first two I'd be worried about hitting.
This one's really, really thin, and they only get the top one. That's a big miss, Shawnee.
Yeah, I'd have been going the other way. It's the one at the top of the 12-foot that's caused you the most grief. If you ever got the other two with a double, they're still just throwing one guard. Yeah, I think that was a missed opportunity to play the same type of shot, and again, not as much distance between the yellow and the red going the other way. It would have been awfully hard to pick it over the top.
So chance for Team Cameron to make a better guard, and this one is better. Especially with that last little gear. So look to be playing this double off the top two in the rings.
Yeah, it doesn't look like she's throwing it real hard, but she's got to release that stone at the top to have any way to get to the shot stone.
Curling up hard. This is going to get awfully close to the guard. They do get past it. Is it thin enough to move everything enough? I think it is.
Yeah, probably does just enough. Still leaves room for Kate to hit this one, roll kind of back to almost a corner freeze on the red. It's still the same problem for Christina Black, is that the yellow-red in the 8-foot is still going to be kind of taking away any shot she's got to get at shot rock. This still has to be made. You under roll, you leave a double. You over roll, you leave a shot at the shot stone.
So Kate Cameron with her first here in the 5th. Working it hard, over curling an awful lot. Will catch the other one.
Yeah, that's not helping.
Shot stone dead wide open now.
Yeah, really the only question now is, are you trying to stay right there? Do you roll over to the edge of the 8-foot? You certainly don't want to roll about a foot to the broom side. Then it leaves a double on the reds.
They're not throwing a lot of weight based on them manicuring the rings there. So Christina Black opportunity to put Cameron in some trouble here. Now on the curl. Just going to stay right there.
Probably good enough, though. I don't think she can get... I mean, there's air there, but I don't think she can get to that air with enough weight to kill the second red stone. Well, she might think she can.
At the very least, you want to get locked onto it, though. You could at least corner freeze to it.
Well, I think you're hitting that stone anyway. I mean, if you nose hit it, She can't hit it again and be shot rock, so you may as well hit it. But to what you're saying, yeah, if you don't think you can kill the second one, I think you want to hit it on the nose. You take away her draw on this side if you hit it on the nose.
So final stone from Cameron.
I don't think she can get to the inside with enough to move that second one.
Well, certainly not going to.
And that's fine. I mean, if you were willing to concede the draw for 2, that's all you've done. Rolling over just would have given her the choice which turn she wanted to play.
So coming over to the out turn for the draw for 2, she's going to need to grab a little piece of the 4.
This looks awfully familiar. This was the shot she had for 2 in the first end.
Doesn't look like a lot of ice to me, Sean.
It didn't when she threw it in the first end either. I thought she was playing a hit. And she came up well short in the first end.
So here's black. Final stone of end number 5. Weight looks better on this one. But now it's really taking the curl hard. Did they wait too long? Did they wait too long? Did they wait too long? Yes, they did. It's only going to be a single point for Christina Black. Cameron dodges a bullet. She'll have the hammer in 6 when we come back to Martensville.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Welcome back to Martensville. It's end number 6 of the Grand Slam of Curling Canadian Open Tier 2. It is Christina Black with a 2-stone lead. Cameron has to consider herself lucky to only be trailing 2, but she does have the hammer here in the 6th.
Yeah, and maybe a little momentum after that last end. She had a solid end. It was just one little bit of a mistake that gave up the shot for 2 and still had to be made and wasn't.
Dave Schmel and Sean Joyce here with you. Matt Hone on our production this evening. Hope everyone in the Saskatchewan area is staying safe with the big snowfall occurring. Very windy conditions, so take it easy out there. Don't even risk it. Just stay warm. Grab a cup of your favorite beverage and hang out with us.
Well, I haven't done a lot of games yet this weekend, but this is shaping up to be the first box setup I've seen. Saw it a fair bit last weekend, and there wasn't as much curl. It wasn't as easy to play this style. What we talk about with the backs, you see the center guard go up, then the corner. Here's the come around. They could come around their corner here. She's going to go after the one in the middle. Where it's maybe easier to play that box in ice that curls this much, it's easier to ignore that stone and go around the corner because you still always feel like you can get at that shot later on. When it's a little straighter, you kind of sometimes feel like, well, we better play the one in the middle while we can still get to it. They're going to talk about both options for sure.
They are not going to stay. They are not going to stay in the box.
Yeah, well, the fact that it's not buried maybe changes this a little bit.
So Mackenzie Elias.
Still got to be careful getting by the guard. That's in the no-tick zone.
They are just going to skid by the guard. Tap it a little bit, rolled to the center. Nice angle for them. It's going to jam all day if they go after it.
Yeah, and the shot stone for now is wide open too.
So Black's looking to address that with the stone from Marley Powers. See another game coming off the ice.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering about that too with only 2 games left out there, and there's still a lot of game left to play here. That can change conditions in the building. You get fewer bodies out there, and there's plenty of time yet for it to cool off in there.
Something that certainly does come into play. We know the wind is blowing quite hard. We've actually had our cameras shake a couple times today. So McDonald looking to make some stuff happen here. Take this red, and it's just going to peel over the top. Will they scooch it undercover? Well, they have a double corner.
Yeah, that works.
Not bad. Still early in the end.
Black could make a play on the yellow stone. Why she's considering throwing the guard. Once you make the play on the yellow stone, Cameron's going to play the hit and roll behind the corner. You got nothing guarding your stones in the middle. She makes the roll behind that staggered corner. It's easy for this end to start to pile up on you. I still think it's the wise play, though, to hit rather than guard.
Say by the scoreboard behind you.
Yeah, that's what makes it the wise play.
Yep, and Cameron's only scored in just the one end. Even though, to your point, it does feel like she has certainly found her stride somewhat.
Yeah. She's looking at playing the hit on the higher of the 3 red stones, play the roll all the way behind the corner. Or at least that was the initial call. And if you make that roll behind the corner, what's going to happen is you're going to stuff the high red onto the one that's full forfeit. When you make the roll over, now the 2 reds that are left should be almost dead even.
So Brienne Harris looking to do just that. A little bit of curl.
It's close.
This looks pretty good. They get the hit, the roll, and maybe a little spin back for good measure.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good.
You can see what I mean about those 2. There's some space between them, but that's pretty even. There's a double there.
Say it again.
You know, to take out any one of those reds, just take it out clean. You're still not guaranteed to have an easy double. She got a couple of things out of this. She makes the hit, stuffs that second one. When she rolls across undercover, now you look at where the two reds are left. She's got a way to get rid of both of them in one shot. And that brings that rock behind cover back into the scoring area, basically. And Christina Black doesn't have the raise. She thought about the double peel. That's not without danger, too, because the top one is coming into the house somewhere. There's a couple of reds it could jam on. No, they're still going to try it. So she's trying to hit this thin and go over the top. I didn't see the call when they were originally discussing this.
That is what it looks like.
It's awful.
Over the top. Is there ever a chance that it goes into the back one?
Well, there's a chance if you can get it over the top, but we're talking about hitting this paper thin to get over the top. It's more likely you're just going to jam the first one into the second one and it's going to stay right there.
Get the 1 second, and they do jam it right in there, and it stays right there. Sean Joyce, our prognosticator in chief.
Yeah, they were so close together, and the comfortable angle, that's what was going to happen. And she couldn't really try to play the double peel the other way because you hit it slightly off into the nose the other way. So you're now hitting the second yellow really thin. All it's going to do is redirect towards those reds. Now, you might be able to miss them, but you got two of them to hit. And my luck says when I'm throwing that, I'm jamming one of them and maybe making the double.
Right, and then when you do that, they hit the other one, and now all of a sudden Cameron's line 3.
Love to stick this in the back, but it's not critical.
Stick it? It does appear to be out. If we could.
Yeah, it's hard to be sure.
Very, very close.
Too many old camera angles around.
Yeah, well, yeah. If we drop the score bug for a second, Matt.
You can see white, but again, we're not looking directly over top of the rock. We're looking from the center line, so we're actually looking on an angle at the rock. It's hard to say. Now she's buried around the corner, and you're forcing Christina Black now to play the freeze. So still, this is the end Kate Cameron would like to play. She's playing the rest of the end on the corner.
You see Cameron taking a good look at that.
It still has a ton of room. It'll move.
This is heavy and wide. Tough to fix that. Cameron ready to pounce. Don't want to pounce. You need to be able to get to it. Plenty of room to make the hit and roll, Sean.
Yeah, you want to roll well over to the open of the 8 foot. You make them make a play on it. If they happen to roll out, you can loop another one around that corner guard, and 3 is definitely play, even if that one in the back is out. And I think if we get to the last rock of the end and it's an open hit for Kate Cameron, you might see a measuring stick go on that stone.
Yes, the ever elusive biter bar.
Like this is exactly the perfect timing for Kate Cameron where she's playing this. You make the hit, you roll to somewhere in the middle of the 8 foot at the back. If they roll out, you're looping around the guard again on Kate's first stone. It's an all or nothing shot for Christina Black. This is not getting by the guard.
Got to stay in the rings. Spill it into the rings. It will stay in the rings, so they get that going for them.
Yeah, that was never enough weight. She was never killing that stone if she gets to it.
Opportunity lost.
Yeah,
not
it is.
going forever yet, but
well, it's close. You roll to the open side here. I'm not seeing a double ever coming to get that Yellowstone and 12 foot back into play.
I'd like to thank everyone who's joining us from the McDonald Keene game that you've just seen come off the ice. Right here, it's Kate Cameron trailing by 2 with the hammer in the 6th over Christina Black. Cameron has had a little something going, but just a slight misstep with the last stone might give Black the opportunity to see her way out of this. It's her first of 2 here in the 6th.
She rolls out. She gives the opportunity right back.
This is going to roll out. Oh, no.
Well, and we haven't seen anybody definitively try to give us an idea whether that yellow at the back is in or not. Where I'm going with this is Kate could try to roll right to split the center line. Then Christina's probably got to go after it. Now, if she thinks that yellow's in, she probably plays the double. If she's sure it's out, she just has to hit anywhere, and it'll be a force to 2. If Kate thinks that rock is in, she doesn't want to roll quite that far over. She wants to leave the angle on the slash a little tougher. So then she's probably trying to roll maybe just past where the broom is right now.
So Cameron with her first.
I don't think they have to worry about curl. It'll go.
She gets
I don't think they rolled enough. Left the double.
That does appear to be very much a double. You see the Carruthers game is coming off the ice as well. So this is our last game on. We're happy to have you here with us, Dave Schmel and Sean Joyce.
You know, you could make this double and, in theory, still give up 2 if that one at the back is biting. Here's the other question. If that one's really close, if it's debatable and you make the double here, what do you do if you're Kate Cameron? I mean, you haven't blanked your end yet, but if you play for the blank, I'll guarantee you one way or the other, one team's going to want to measure that rock. If you roll out, they're going to want to measure it for 1. If you stay, you're going to want to measure it to see if you get 2. This double has to get made first.
Final from Black. This has to curl.
No, she needs to hold straight.
Oh, they got them all.
Well, that makes this decision easier. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure if I'm Christina Black, I'm not sure I wanted to get the third one out because I haven't seen anybody definitively say whether or not they thought it was in. You needed the double for sure. And, you know, you could get away with hitting it fairly thick to get the double, especially with the weight she had, but hits it just right to clip that one on the way by. And so now Kate Cameron, no doubt, will be trying a blank. You're allowed 1. We're already in the 6th end. She's not likely to ever get another chance where she's going to want a blank. Well, she's not getting the blank here either. That doesn't look like she was even playing for the blank.
And it's going to be a score of 1. It's 4-3 in favor of Black. She'll have the hammer in 7 when we come back to Martensville.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com. the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
Welcome back. It was a single point for Kate Cameron in end number 6. Black has a hammer up by 1 in the 7th. You're watching the Grand Slam of Curling Canadian Open Tier 2 from Martensville. And Sean, we are trying to get ourselves in Kate Cameron's head with taking one there.
Yeah, the nearest we can figure, it's got to have something to do with the no extra end rule. So she's probably thinking you take your one there, you force one in 7. So if you get 2 at 8, you get to draw to the button for the win. You don't have to worry about an extra end with the hammer against you. Whereas if you blank in 6 and you get your 2 in 7, you're tied up playing 8, but black would have the hammer with a chance to win the game. The problem is if you steal one here, you're in that same boat. You're still going to be tied up without. And if you're just trying straight up to force here, let's flip it to the other side. Christina Black knows the same thing. So if she's got a choice with her last stone between forcing you to one, or pardon me, getting forced to one, or giving up the steal, you know, will she take the 2-point lead coming home? Maybe, probably. Well, maybe.
And she still has her blank.
Yeah. Yeah, she'd love to see a blank here for sure.
So we see the 2 guards up for Cameron. One in the rings for black, and Ness will now make 2.
She was trying to come around with the second one and it crashed the guard. So now the issue that she's got is she doesn't have the guards in a good lineup either. This run back, if you're going to play it, absolutely has to be dead perfect. You've got to stuff this in the rings. You can't roll away. This is the 5th stone of the end. You kill 2 and roll out. Christina Black just peels the guards.
Taylor McDonald needs to run it and stick it. She runs it. She sticks it. She makes it. It's that easy, Sean.
Well, I mean, they're not out of the woods yet, but that's huge. If you're going to play that, you absolutely had to make it. Now, that was the 5th stone, too, and there's angle on the first 2 guards. So Christina Black can call for the double peel here. There's a chance if you catch the second one thin enough, it could come back and catch the one in the rings. Even if you just make the double peel, the blank is starting to look very possible here.
Powers on the double peel attempt. 1 and 2. Gonna spill the Cameron stone into the rings and not kill it, Sean.
Yeah, you're guarding a rock in the 8-foot for your life right now. As long as you can sit 2, you know somebody's scoring this end. But, I still think the strategy, the decision you made in 6 says you don't really want to steal one here.
That's a good guard.
Yeah. You saw the decision. They're going to try to peel it towards the one on the corner. You could make a play at running it almost straight back, try to just double the 2 off the middle, but you're going to leave your shooter up there somewhere.
Powers.
Looks close.
Got to peel it, send it over that way. They clip it, they make it. Now they're shooting. Now you're really guarding for your life, Sean.
Yeah, you're 1 shot away from a blank here. You'd be 1 down without coming home. That's certainly not a spot they were hoping to be in when they took the single last end. Well, this is a scenario that we haven't had the chance to discuss. Of course, most of the time you play an extra end. Now, when we start talking about the last end scenarios, this is going to leave that shot stone open. She's going to go after it directly. She could play the peel across the top, try to double them and roll away. You make this, Cameron's probably still coming around the guard, I would think. But to finish that thought, we talk about all the time, would you rather be one up coming home without last rock or one down with? Well, now in a scenario where there's no extra end, it's just a straight draw to the button. Would you rather be, and this is Christina Black's going to have to answer this question, or might have to answer this question before the end's over. Would you rather be 2 up without or tied up with? Because in the 8th end, you still get a hammer. But if it goes to an extra, it's draw to the button. You don't get that last rock advantage. One thing worth noting in that discussion, there's only been 1 deuce scored in this game all the way through to this point. Now, that's not to say there haven't been opportunities.
So now looking for the hit and roll across is Team Black. Quite a good distance to control a roll here. Catch it. Can they get that perfect roll? If not perfect, that's pretty good.
It was great until it spun back. So now there's a bit of that red stone exposed and probably enough to tap it back. You'll see it here on the replay. They were a little bit worried about making it curl. As it turned out, it might have curled just a sliver too far. Watch the roll. It comes across. It's dead buried and then spins back at the end. And that leaves Kate maybe enough of that stone that she can get down to it and just move it behind the tee line, stay in front of it.
So Kate Cameron taking like back 4, back 8 type ice. Her first of 2 in the 7th. This one is hanging. Try see if they can still grab a little piece.
Yeah,
it's going to roll behind.
They were really caught in between there. You heard, I think it was Kate say curl. I don't know for sure if they just maybe didn't want it to curl because they knew they were just going to have enough to rub it in behind even further.
So you say could have made an argument to sweep it by there.
Yeah. Might have been too late to make that decision too, but Christina Black's got room probably to roll underneath here. And then Kate Cameron would be in a heck of a pile of trouble. We were debating, do you want to be tied up or tied up with last rocker, 2 up without? Well, if she could be 4 up without, she'll take that all day. You get the roll underneath here, and Kate Cameron's going to be in all kinds of trouble. They're not playing the roll underneath. They're trying to roll open.
And they do.
Well, I think Kate's playing the same tap now. I mean, she's still got to make it. Or you straight freeze it and give her the shot for 2 and hope she misses it.
Yeah, this is going to have to be made well or basically game over.
Yeah, where the roll was made, though, this might be all she's got. I think if you play the hit and roll from there, if you got buried, you're far enough back that you're not shot rock, so it's still a draw for 2.
So final stone of the 7th for Cameron.
I think I'm hearing top 4, so they're just playing for the freeze here. Don't have to be right on the face here if you're playing for the freeze either. You could just be half, split the center line, cornered in front of it. Try to take away some of her draw path.
The line is really good. The weight is pretty good too. Well thrown by Kate Cameron. It will be a draw to the full 4 for deuce.
Third chance Christina's had to make this exact same draw in this exact same path, and she missed the first 2, short on both of them.
Still doesn't look like enough ice to me.
No. You don't need to split center here. She could take a foot more ice and she'd be fine.
This is only like 2 inches more than the last one. So final stone of the 7th end for Black. She has 1. Needs full 4 to get 2 and take a 3-stone lead.
Definitely threw that in out, so line shouldn't be an issue if her weight's good.
They need this one to settle on in. It is curling hard.
It's got a lot of weight.
It's grinding in. It's going to hold on just fine. It's a deuce for Black. Cameron down by 3 coming home. We'll be back from Martensville after this.
Hey, Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree. Come use us for real estate.
And welcome back to Martensville, the 8th and final end. Kate Cameron needs to put up a score of 3. You're watching the Grand Slam of Curling, Canadian Open Tier 2. Dave Schmel, Sean Joyce, and Matt Hone here with you. And a bit of work for Cameron for sure.
There is for sure, but, you know, I was thinking about that as you said it at the start of it, as we came back to the commercial. Usually we talk about this as the 8th and perhaps final end. Well, it's guaranteed it's the final end here, because if it goes to a tie, no extra end. It would be a draw to the button, and apparently it's happened a few times already.
Yeah,
between the two events this weekend. I haven't seen them yet, but it has. There have been a few games apparently between the two events that have.
I
come
use
down
my
to
words
that
very
button.
carefully. I mean, this is one event where I cannot do my normal curse, at least yet.
Now, the other thing I'm wondering here as we start the setup of this eighth end is, does Kate Cameron play two guards? I would assume yes, but there's been a couple of ends this game where she hasn't done what I would have thought she would have done. And if this is short of the house, she could use this as her second guard. You need two guards in the strategy handbook to score 3.
Well, that one comes down to it. We're going to get our answer, and she is going to play the split corners.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of patience to play this format, but I mean, this is your way to score 3. You need 2 corner guards. You know your opposition's probably coming into the center of the house all 3 times. I don't think they're going to throw a guard. You go around the worst of the 2 guards first. Presumably, they're going to peel the guard. And then likely you're making a play on those middle ones right away, and then you worry about getting around the other guard a little bit later. You're going to let them hit the open one. This is surprising. She's going to throw the center guard.
So you're saying you're
a lot of teams
almost giving Cameron a gift?
It's another rock that she can use to try to score a 3, because if you ever manage to get rid of the other 2 guards, she's still got this one. She's got to deal with those rocks in the middle, but she doesn't have to try to kill them. She could just try to move them back, and then a guard just makes it harder to get rid of the yellow ones. So now she has the option. If you're Kate Cameron, she can start dealing with the rocks in the middle now. So you can come around, try to jiggle those back, move them around somehow or another. If you lose one of the corner guards, you've still got 2 guards to work with.
You can probably deal with either middle stone right now.
Yeah, and if you played this with like hack weight, if you happen to rub the guard, you're going to end up in behind a corner likely. I like the intern. They've played it so many times this game. Play the intern, try to get to the... Well, they're going to call timeout, talk about it.
Timeout's called. That's there first.
You can see the clock back there, but I can't see it well enough to tell how much time's on it.
Oh, I'm sure Matt can get us a close-up. If he can't, it's Connor's fault.
About the time he gets the close-up,
timeout will be
Black's
over.
I was going to say Christina Black's going to stand directly in front of it. Coaches, and I'm not 100% sure that I'm right on who the coach is for Cameron, but I think that's Derek Samagalski. He's quite bundled up for a guy who's been sitting on the warm side of the glass for the last 2 hours. Got the toque on and everything. It's not that cold in that rink. What they'll be talking about here is not just the shot they want to play right now. It's how do we set this up to get a multiple rock into the house situation. So you've got options here. I like addressing the middle now, especially with that guard there. You know that Christina Black would like to peel the corners. If you do something in the middle, she probably this looks like she's planning to do it with weight. I don't like that. Well, I mean, it's good if you make it, but boy, you better not roll out.
Checking the time.
It's good if you make it. It's not great if you make it. There's less rocks in play. You're certainly going to make the decisions easier for Christina Black as well.
It's on the center. Moves around. Cut your path off to get underneath one of the guards, really.
Yeah, I don't know that matters a lot. The issue is that it's too easy to peel guards now, and there's nothing else for Christina Black to do. This doesn't look like the easier of the 2 double peels, though. It looks like the other one is. Hit the other corner, come into the one of the center line, that you get to the back end of it and you can scoot your shooter in. You can certainly make the double this way, but hard to roll your shooter away.
So Powers going to just get the one, slide underneath. And herself almost slided into the rings.
Yeah, so now you come around the worst of the two guards. She peels it. You come around. You'd love to be doing this, starting this one shot later, but you got to go while the opportunity's there.
McDonald.
You won't be shot rock if you're buried here.
This last bit of finish is going to bury it. Just behind the tee line. Room for another.
Yeah, I wouldn't be playing it. You're 3 up. You peel the guards. There's a double peel there, and if you're on the back end of the second guard, spin into the rings, the game's pretty much over.
No, I certainly agree, but the fact that she hesitated there for a second made me think. Another one from Powers.
Yeah, we're on to third stones now.
Well, Brothers makes it just the same.
Yeah, but she got the spin into the rings now too, and now you got nothing left to hide behind, really.
So I'm going to hide behind the black rock.
That's a red rock, but
I knew you were going to do that. I so know you were going to do that. The second it came out of my mouth, I said, here goes Sean. It's Connor's fault. This one has to curl all the way to BC. They get half under. Close for second shot.
I think it might be the red. If you were sure you could hit that stone at the back, you'd take it, because worst case scenario, you get rid of that one now, and if the next one is made great, you hit the open stone. If you're not sure you can make that one now, you hit the open stone. But if you're hitting the open stone, you got to decide where you're rolling. Are you rolling out, or are you rolling in to be second or third shot? Because if you roll in, you're also going to leave a pocket for a freeze. That might be okay. You roll in. They're playing the roll away. Had you rolled in, you leave the pocket for the freeze, then you hit the freeze on the nose, and you're going to have an open shot for your last one.
So looking to play the freeze there.
Yeah, freezing the top one is no good. Freezing the back one works because as it comes across, there's a couple of rocks it could come into and hard to kill them, but you still got to be close to the nose on this. Ideally, you want a freeze good enough that if they try to blast it, it goes over the top of the yellow, and if you're really greedy, it's going into that red at the back 12 foot.
Right here's where it usually takes the curl.
Yeah, it should move if the weight's good.
Last couple licks, and they lock on there pretty good.
That might be too thin. If you blast that now, I think it's coming into the other yellow. Certainly, if you try to pick it, like if you're on the high side at all, it's coming towards that yellow.
It's very, very close.
They're going to call their timeout.
Timeout for them. Of course, the Cameron coach can come on out and talk.
Yeah, I think you're just blasting here. I'm not sure with that broom though. Like you could put the broom right on the edge of the rock, right in front of the red one. You hit half a stone, you either pick it clean and it goes into that yellow, or even if it just touches the red, I still think it's going towards the yellow. She is throwing the out turn. She's got to be planning to set this a fair bit.
So Christina Black. On it, comes across, kills the Cameron rock. And now Kate Cameron has 2 stones left, and they're both going to have to be left counting. So tough sledding ahead. And plenty of sledding available in the Martensville area.
Yeah, I'm not sure I see the advantage to hitting this just yet, but you need a miss, and your most likely miss is if she tries to hit that stone that's there now and somehow or another clips the stone in the 8-foot.
So I think they're trying to hit this and roll all the way across the rings.
Yeah, you could just give her a wider target by doing that.
Like saying I need some kind of miss. First on the way from Cameron.
And if you don't get the rollover, you're going to give her a wide open stone way out in the open where there's nothing to crash into.
This actually comes across the face.
Just didn't need to play that yet. She could have frozen to that and still expected her to hit that stone at the back 8-foot. And if you get a miss, then you've got, it's going to be you might have to make some kind of double off your own, but at least you get to throw it.
So with her last to close out the game, Christina Black will throw her final red stone.
Cameron came in 1-0. Black came in 0-1. This would move them both to even, and there'd be a bit of a cluster in the middle of that pool. 4 teams would be tied at 1-1 in the middle of Pool A.
Those draw shots are going to become very, very important as we go through the rest of the pool. And the hit is made, and the win is on the board. It's a final score of 6-3 in favor of Christina Black over Kate Cameron.
So now 4 teams in Pool A sit in the middle at 1-1. There are 6 teams in Pool B at 1-1. We're 2 games in, and instead of getting farther apart, we're actually getting quite grouped in the middle. And it's going to be interesting to see how the final 2 days of round robin play work out, and whether or not we end up going to that draw to the button score to see who are the 8 playoff teams for Saturday.
And tomorrow we'll pick up our coverage at noon Central Time. We'll have Yamaguchi versus Dirksen. Myself and Jim Nix will have the call. And then at 4:30, we'll have McDonald versus Maeda. So stay tuned, and we'll see you tomorrow. But for right now, for Sean Joyce and Matt Hone, I'm Dave Schmelt. Thanks for watching Curling Stadium. Have a pleasant evening.